Hello and welcome to Agora. We are a worldwide non-profit association of passionate volunteers whose goal is helping people. In what way we help people? We help them through learning and improving their communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. And in the process, we make a positive impact in the surrounding world. We believe that these skills are critical for everyone in their professional and personal lives. We do this through custom educational program and local clubs where people meet, learn and practice in a friendly and supportive environment. We want our members to invest in fellow members instead of sending money somewhere else. So we don't charge any membership fees. And I'm happy to inform you that I'm the host and MC for this prestigious event this evening. So formally welcome to all of you. So it's my humble request to all of you to keep your camera on at all times so you become a visible face. That's the whole purpose of networking. If you put your camera off, then you will not be noticed. So do it at your own risk. All right. So please keep your microphone on mute at most times, unless you are a speaker, evaluator, or timekeeper. All right. And today's timekeeper is Ben Peng. So let's welcome Ben Peng. Thank you, Ben Peng, for helping us. And he will be performing a very crucial task for us to keep a record of the time taken by all the speakers as well as the evaluators. He will be flashing green, yellow, and red cards through his virtual background at 5, 6, and 7 minutes respectively. And for evaluators at 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and 2 minutes respectively. So if everybody is ready, I don't want to waste your time by introducing myself upfront. If you're curious to know about me, you will have to actually log on to my website. But at the end, I will introduce myself. I don't want to take the limelight from the speakers. So let's welcome our first speaker, Adeline.
Thank you, everyone.
No, not yet. Let me introduce you first. I'm thankful to Dr. Halima and Brian Lin who have volunteered to be the evaluators for Adeline Lim. Can we have Dr. Halima and Brian Lin also to the screen? And so
wish you all the best.
Let me, thank you. So let me give the roles of the evaluator. The role of the evaluator is to share his or her observation. So there are 3 things you need to note down. What does the speaker want? Who would like the speaker? What would you like the speaker to be asked? Okay, and what would you do differently, right? So if you were the speaker, and what would you do differently than the speaker? Okay, so now it's time for me to introduce the first speaker of the day. Her name is Adeline Lim. Adeline is a professional home chef and dedicated to promoting mental well-being through her passion for culinary arts and urban farming, especially in hydroponics and aquaponics. Wow. She speaks 8 different languages. My goodness. Wonderful. Amazing. And she has lived in 6 different countries. All right. Her work took her traveling through 12 different countries, and her expertise is in food science, textiles, manufacturing, as well as international sales and marketing. She had recently graduated with an MBA degree from University of Sussex and currently pursuing a course to be qualified ACLP trainer. And Adeline will be sharing her experiences with you and hope to inspire you to achieve your dreams, regardless of time and age. The topic for her speech today is how to achieve your dreams. My goodness, everybody likes to achieve their dreams, right? So it's going to be a very inspiring talk. we are all ears, So time allowed is 7 minutes, as I discussed. At 5 minutes, you will get a green signal from Benpeng, and you will get another signal, yellow card at 6 minutes and red card at 7 minutes. And after 30 seconds, we'll start laughing. All right. So without further ado, I hereby invite Adeline to the center stage.
Thank you, Coach. This is the first time I'm doing a public speaking to such a big group, so I'm very nervous. But anyway, thank you for listening. Now I would like to share my screen as part of my presentation. Can everybody see this? Can someone give me? Yes, thank you very much. Now, good evening, fellow Agorians. San Susadia, bonsoir, buenas noches, guten Abend, konbanwa, selamat petang. My name is Adeline, and I would like to share my life journey with you. It's about how to achieve your dreams. And I'm not talking about this. No, not growing wings and not flying to the moon, but more like being a pilot and becoming one. And before I proceed, I need you to do something. Can you please kindly take a pen and a piece of paper, because you'll be doing some numbers. There's a challenge. At the end, that I'll tell you the secret, it's got 4 pairs of numbers and they're all in red. So keep your eyes peeled for them. Now, the message I want you to take away this evening is, if you dare to dream it, it will come true. It's truly magical and truly possible. Let me share a true story with you. When I was a little girl, I helped my grandmother every day in her cozy kitchen, where she concocted all sorts of delicious food. Like that. That was my grandmother. She had Sunday off every week, and as a special treat, our family dined at posh restaurants. And during the holidays, we would travel to different cities abroad, like San Francisco and Sydney, to visit relatives. Every journey was an adventure. So from an early age, I had 2 dreams. One was to work in a restaurant, and one was to travel the world. Why? Because I wanted to cook all that delicious fancy food that I ate. So when I finished my A-levels, I decided that I wanted to be a chef, definitely. And of all the places in the world, study catering in England. Because I love English breakfast. Anyway, so there I was, not really prepared for what was awaiting me back in 1991. I was in foreign territory and all by myself. But this quote by Walt Disney was stuck in my brain. He once said, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Back then, I struggled with homesickness and loneliness, but determined to make my mark. After lessons and during the school holidays, I did all kinds of catering, from working as a bartender to hospital canteens to hotel restaurants. You name it, and I would have done it. Tying up 20 huge turkeys for Christmas in one afternoon, making tons of scrambled eggs, and baking dozens of sponge cakes for just one wedding. Most of my colleagues and some of my classmates came from different countries, such as Spain, Russia, and Japan. The hours were long, the pay was low, and friends were few, because in the catering industry, when we work, other people were having fun. But I tell you, it was definitely worth it. In 1993, I graduated with my first professional catering diploma. But the best part of the journey happened in 2019, when I opened my first cafe in Brighton, England. Now back in Singapore, I'm a professional home chef and also helping others to learn about climate change and sustainability to growing your own food using hydroponics and aquaponics. During my life journey, I learned 3 very important lessons. The first lesson is called belief. If you believe, you can do it. This is from Mahatma Gandhi. In short, it means that your beliefs become your destiny. Neuroscience shows that our brain is very malleable, meaning we can change our ability to think or to perform. For example,
excuse me, Adeline, your
yes?
face is not visible. People want to see you.
Not
Yeah.
here? Okay, sorry about that. I didn't want to mess up the PowerPoint. Anyway, so if you believe it, you can change your abilities, even if you're 78 years old. The second lesson is no matter how hard it is, stay focused on your goal and work hard. My grandmother used to tell me, where there's a will, there's a way. You must write down your goal and pin it somewhere so that you can see it every day. Make a plan and follow it. Make changes if you have to, but the goal never changes. And last but not least, you need to educate yourself and gain valuable experience because paper qualifications and proper credentials prove that you have the right skills and the knowledge. And with each new experience, you grow stronger. Now, I have a new dream, and that's to make time to help other people realize their dreams. Oops. Take a moment now and ask yourself, what is my dream? Then I want you to tell yourself that you are going to make that dream come true because dreams can come true. If I can make my dream come true, you can too. Now, in closing, I'd like to know if anyone paid attention and see if you can find the 4 pairs of numbers. Can anyone answer me? Do you want to see the slides again?
It's 1991.
It's
You
4
read your
pairs of
first-
numbers in sequence. So
It
it's
was
8 numbers
1992.
altogether.
Oh,
91, 93, 20, and 78.
Excellent. So here it is. Unlock your potential and realize your dream. I'm 50 years old and I got my MBA 2 years ago. So if I can do it, you can too. So drop me a line and I'll tell you the way. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone. I have butterflies in my tummy. Normally, I'm cooking over a stove and explaining and not talking to this big group. Thank you so much.
Please unmute yourself. CK Arora ji.
Thank you very much, Adeline, for giving us such inspiring speech. Now I request Ben Peng to give us the timekeeper's report.
Adeline took 7 minutes, 15 seconds.
Wonderful. Well on time. Now, may I request Dr. Halima to come as the first evaluator for Adeline's speech, please.
Thank you very much. And Adeline, it was really an inspiring and motivating story. And your facial expression, your body language, and your appearance, everything was very appealing and very pleasing to watch and to listen to. And your word selections are also appropriate. And these are the like positive points. And listening for 7 minutes was just very easy for us, like nothing we have to give pain to our brain or something like that. It was not, it was very light presentation, I must say. And it was good that you were very observant since childhood, like you observed the food and cuisine of all the countries wherever you traveled along with your family or the cities. And you also were very attached with your grandmother. That's why you were fascinated towards cooking profession and you have taken up as a profession. And you started in UK, your Asia, Cafe Asia. That's really a great achievement. However, if I suggest the areas of improvement, and suppose, as I was said, that if I am in your place, what I would have done differently. So first of all, it's a motivational speech that I can understand, that you are motivating people how to realize their dreams. But what exactly you are going to do with the people and how you are going to help them. So that blueprint or that accurate plan was not mentioned. So suppose if I am very much inspired by your speech and I want to be with you, I am not able to understand that which type of help I should take from you. So that was not very clear. That was little ambiguity was there. And then secondly, in your story, everywhere I find that it was moving so smoothly from your childhood till your Asia Cafe. So there were not much challenges. What happened, you must have faced the challenges. I know without challenges, you cannot achieve your dreams or your success, or maybe your life was very easy and you achieved everything, whatever you wanted in life. So it's not, to me, it's not very appealing that, okay, Adeline has done so much hard work and she has overcome so much obstacles. And when she can do, I can also do it. Apparently it is looking like she wanted to be a chef, she wanted to go into this profession, and then she has achieved. So everything is going goody. So only these two suggestions are there from me. And as far as language is concerned, so in language was quite clear. In between you were not visible, so that's why we were feeling that where is she. Thank you very much. I'm done. Stop laughing.
Okay. So, Dr. Halima took 2 minutes 48 seconds.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Halima.
Now, may I invite the second evaluator, Mr. Branlin, to
Sure,
come
I'm
and
here.
evaluate the speech, please.
Thank you, Coach CK, Adeline. It was a wonderful presentation. From the beginning, you have the introducer to introduce your credentials. That set up the stage, set up your ability to present and the theme of your talk. And I thought that's a good way to start. And when I look at you, your speech was 7 minutes, 15 seconds. You're stretching it. And I love that because you have everything tied up very, very closely, that you have that 7 minutes, but you have gone through a lot. You've gone through your childhood. You have a little test for all of us. And you have stated what business that you are in. You're in the coaching business, obviously. And from your example, that I thought people would like to take your class. And I thought the whole presentation and the contents are almost perfect because I think you obviously have practiced this a lot. If I could give you some suggestions, first, that never tell the audience that you are nervous, because if we don't notice, why do you have to remind us that you're nervous? Second is that toward the end, you may have to find a way to connect your catering or your ability to achieve things to the courses that you're selling. Because from the talk, we know that you are an excellent cook and you execute. But at the same time, how does that translate into your class that you want people to sign up? Because you could say something like, it's not just I can do it because I know the method. I know how to line up. I know how to plan, and those kind of things that are the course, not just about you can achieve it, I can achieve it, because it's not just an inspiration, it's also a service. So if you could make the service a little more clear, I thought this whole thing would tie together. But overall, I love the talk, and I wish I could see you a little more on the screen. Back to you, Coach CK.
Thank you very
Thank you very
much. Thank you.
Time
Can I
taken
request-
2 minutes 19 seconds.
Okay, great. Well in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
So now that completes our first round of the speech as well as successful evaluation. I hope Adeline got much of inputs for her next speech. And now this is the time for me to introduce our second speaker, Miss Chung Yin-Hwa. So I have two evaluators ready for her speech. The first one is Mr. Ernst Chen, and the second one is Kim Seong. Can we have them on the spotlight, please?
I'm looking for Kim Seong. Where is Kim Seong? Ah, here you are.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Ernest Chen. Yeah, all right, both of us are here. Great. So with the whole team with us, now it's time for me to introduce the speaker. So who is Chung Yin-Hwa? Yin-Hwa has more than 40 years of success as an educator, my favorite passion, and thousands of your adults have benefited from her work. She has earned a master's degree from Harvard University. My goodness, claps for that. Prestigious university. And what does Yin-Hwa believe in? She believes in, amongst others, two important things. First one, there is nothing we cannot learn to do better. And the second one, there is no learning that we cannot share to others' benefit, right? Now, what does Yin-Hwa want? What does she? She wants two things. Again, two things, right? She's fond of two things, right? So Yin-Hwa will share with us what she has learned from writing the book. And second one, she wants us to start writing our own books. My goodness. So what is Yin-Hwa's speech topic? Well, you guessed it right. Yin-Hwa's topic is write your books, right? Time allowed again is 7 minutes. So Ben Peng will alarm you at 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and 7 minutes. Green, yellow, and red signal respectively. And after 7 minutes and 30 seconds, we'll start laughing like this. All right. So now I give the center stage to Chung Yin-Hwa. So please greet her with lots of clappings.
Thank you. And I just wanted to check that you can see me and that you can hear me. If someone could just give me, thank you very much. So, good day, Coach CK. Good day, fellow Agorians, and good day, fellow Agorian guests. Have you ever felt that you have a book in you waiting to be written? Have you written it? If not, will you start it in the next 9 days? In the next 9 weeks? In the next 9 months? I just published a book here for the first time in this my 64th year of my life. Retire Happy is now available at bookshops in Singapore as well as online here. Now, my publisher warned me before I started that publishing a book is a serious commitment of time, effort, and money. So every author or wannabe author has to be very sure of two things. Why should people be reading your book? And why are you writing the book? I knew the answers to both questions. You see, as I neared my retirement 2 years ago, I started to find out everything I could in preparation, everything I could about retirement planning and preparation, from books, reports, articles. I attended workshops, talks, I read blogs, and I spoke with experts, including retirees. I realized that there are different aspects to a retirement, all essential to retire happy, and many opportunities and resources to tap on in Singapore. Yet, I could not find the one comprehensive book in Singapore that was available for ready reference. So, having learned so much, I realized that what I had distilled for myself could be put together to share with and benefit others in Singapore who are also seeking to retire happy. So, this is the book I could not find. I can genuinely say that I am grateful for the opportunity to have written my book and totally happy and satisfied that I have done so. I see it helping readers as sales of my book have been encouraging, and the multiple copies available at the National Library branches in Singapore are also loaned out. So, write your book to fulfill your objectives for yourself and for your readers. Your objectives can be very different. Your objectives can include to burnish your professional credentials or to create reference materials for your training programs and many more. And of course, I learned so much from the actual writing and publishing processes too. But beyond meeting my objectives, I also got to enjoy and learn from new experiences which I had not expected, namely about meeting new people, about selling, and about social media. For example, I had to approach and convince established public and professional figures who do not know me, who did not know me at all, to review and endorse my book. I had to reach out to a variety of retirees to interview for the local stories featured in the book. I had to knock on doors to get buy-in, and selling is something alien to me. Of course, there were rejections and walls of silence, but also much delightful connections with total strangers. I had to learn about selling without the benefit of having attended Mr. Gay Bunting's courses. I designed and did my own e-commerce website after researching for the best way that both protected me, protected potential customers, and yet was as low cost and low maintenance as possible. I learned about affiliate marketing and e-commerce. I did radio interviews, pitch articles to publications, and took on all opportunities to talk about my book. Things that as a teacher, I did not do and are very uncomfortable for me. I even became adept at Google Analytics to study the traffic flow to my website. What an exhilarating ride. I did not do social media, but my publisher warned me that I could not sell any books otherwise. So I dusted off my Facebook, my IG, and my Twitter accounts. I cleaned up my LinkedIn, and I learned lots about creating content and engaging communities. Today, I still have no wish to be a grandfluencer. With full respect and kudos to all the influencers here. But hey, to all seniors, I will now say that a renaissance is at our fingertips, and we must keep up with evolving social and communication platforms too. And who knows what lies ahead. So when you write your book, your adventure will also bring you to exciting and unexpected vistas, just like it did for me. At my book launch, a friend from Spain shared a Spanish saying about 3 things we should do in life: have a child, plant a tree, and write a book. This brings me to the third reason why you must write your book. We all have our stories, and our stories must be told, big or small. Your story deserves to be told. We are all part of a family, be it by blood or by marriage. We are all part of a community, a group of friends, a beloved other, etc. And we all can leave a legacy with them. It can be a story for the world, or maybe it's just one story for our loved ones, for our unborn, yet to be born grandchildren, or writing your story down for yourself. Each Agora speech, for example, is a story. Organize them into a book and let others enjoy and learn from you. Indeed, publishing a print book is expensive, but maybe you are famous and publishers will pay you. Or get sponsorship, financing, or crowdfunding. There are many alternatives, including free options. Publish an ebook, perhaps, or PDF copy, or tell your story via multimedia, via a podcast, a blog, an anime, or through Instagram squares. So, have you ever felt that you have a book in you waiting to be written? Have you written it? I took about 9 months from rough draft to doing the Kinokuniya walk, a ritual where a newly published author walks down the aisles of Singapore's biggest bookshop. A fitting timeline. So I invite you, no, I challenge you. What will you do in the next 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months to get started? In 9 days, think of one story you can write, big or small. In 9 weeks, in time for the new year, think about the next steps you will take. And in 9 months, who knows, you may well have birthed your book. Write your book. Thank you.
Thank you.
7 minutes, 39 seconds.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Ben Peng. And thank you, Cheng Yin-Wa, for excellent speech and inspiring all of us to write our own books. And I remember that when I wrote my book about 1 year ago, that was the best experience I had. This book is called laughlines.org. And when you read this book, everybody will start laughing like I do in every meeting like this. Develops the laugh lines on your face. All right. Now it's time for me to introduce the third speaker of the day, Daria Simon.
No, evaluators. Evaluators.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for correcting me. I was taken away by Cheng Yin-Wa's speech, I was moved so much that I forgot that we need to evaluate her speech as well. So now it's my privilege to invite Mr. Ans Chen to provide his feedback. Just give me a minute to introduce him, because he's a distinguished Toastmaster and past district governor of Singapore. So we must give a big round of applause to Mr. Ans Chen.
Thank you.
So Mr. Chen, you have 2 minutes to give your feedback, please.
Thank you, Coach CK. And also thank you very much to Speaker Ying Hua. In fact, Ying Hua is also considered my fellow writer. My first book came out in 2003. I'm really thrilled and have the pleasure of listening to Ying Hua's talk. She has two objectives for today's talk. The primary objective is to tell us writing a book is not difficult. Second objective is to tell us retire happy. So Retire Happy is your first book, and I hope that you will be the bestseller of Singapore, because Singaporeans are getting very, very tired of retiring because they don't know what to do. So the only what to do is read the book Happy Retire and follow Ying Hua's way of writing a book. What I like Ying Hua is what she echo. I'm teaching people how to write books for many years. I always tell people, bring the book inside you, because many of us have a book inside, but they don't know how to bring it out. To bring it out is to write the book, rather than bring the book to your grave. This is very sad. Many of them wanted to write the book. It's too late. I cannot write anymore. I'm lying down. See? So don't wait until so late to write the book. Follow Inwa's way of doing it. I'm so happy to hear that she finished the book within a year.
Yes.
So apparently she learned so much for writing the book. Not only writing the book, she also learned about social media, publishing, e-commerce, and everything. So writing the book has generated a lot of skill that Inhua has accumulated after retiring. Perhaps what Inhua could do is tell us the difference between a hard copy book and an e-book. And also, she said that she has a publisher. Who is your publisher? So there are many ways to do it. Of course, I invite Inva to come to my office. We can have a chat about how to promote your book. It is very important because I have experience and all those things, how to promote your book. I tell people, never go e-book because there are 100 billion books down there. Who want to buy your book? And self-publish is the only way to do it. Never give a publisher. You control everything by self-publishing. Thank you so much, Inwa. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Mr. Ben Peng.
2 minutes 29 seconds.
Wonderful. Bang on time. Claps for that. No doubt he is the governor of Singapore, district governor of Singapore. Fine. So now it's time for me to introduce the second evaluator. His name is Mr. Kim Seong. And he's also distinguished Toastmaster and past district governor of Singapore, like Mr. Ernest Chen. And he's also the past international director of Toastmasters. So now I invite Mr. Kim Seong to come and deliver his evaluation speech.
Thank you, CK, especially to Inhua. When Inhua stepped in front of the camera itself, she already won this thing called credibility because she already have one book, happy, retiring happily. And the most important thing is, as a speaker, when you establish your credibility in front of audience, we really buy in to listen more. And she have two purposes. Number one is to tell the audience the joy of writing the book, whether you spend 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 months, put something into action. And from from the way she described to us, you can feel the joy, the energy, the passion, putting something close to her heart. And in the whole process, she didn't stop challenging us to write our book by sharing the reason why we need to write our book. In the audience here, after listening to Inhua, are you going to plan to write your own book to make sure
Yes.
a less legacy for yourself, whether it's a 50 pages or 500 pages, you have to take the action. And Inhua, tonight I would like to offer you some suggestions for your consideration. Your time taken is 7 minutes 29. The most exciting part to be a successful speaker, you need to plan your speech for 5 minutes and use 7 minutes to deliver your speech. Because in the whole process, certain part you rush through. When you ask a question, make sure you pause and let the audience sink in what you're trying to challenge us, especially on the last part, when you challenge us. Are you willing to take the 9 day, 9 week, 9 month? You have to pause to make sure the audience get the message. And I really enjoy your speech today because you challenge us and you share with us your wonderful experience. And I guess tonight you got many authors from this group, at least 38 authors. And then I hand the control to Bumping.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Ben Peng, your
2 minutes 15 seconds.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Kim Seong, for this wonderful feedback. And thank you, Chung Yinhua, for this excellent speech. Now it's time for me to move on to the third speaker of the day. And This will be after her speech. We will be having a short break of 3 minutes. And of course, we'll have her feedback as well. So Daria is a 16-year-old and lives in Romania. Can we have Daria on Spotlight, please?
Spotlighted.
All right, thank you. And she loves art as she paints, sings, acts, and plays 5-string instruments. She is keen on metaphors, which is why she has always used them in her speeches. Daria likes philosophy, psychology, and also to analyze humans' behavior. The topic for her speech is Everything is Nothing. Very interesting topic, you know. Everybody should be interested in to learn more about from this 16-year-old. So Daria will be talking about the vision of ourselves when we become aware of everything that surrounds us and understand that whenever we are okay, we begin to give up and hope. And even if having no hopes may sound bad, it is not, because in fact, hopes are the ones who destroy us, who make us want even more from life. So without further ado, may I invite Daria on the stage, please.
Thank you. Take a deep breath and focus on it. For the first time, feel how the air enters your body. So fast, but at the same time, so slowly. Can you feel yourself? Can you feel the interior of your hand, of your palm, of your finger? How is it like in there? Cold? Maybe too hot? Well, you are the only one who knows the answer. Because you are not just your brain, your body, your energy. No, you are your whole everything, your entire self. And analyzing what that really means and understanding it for the first time can really change the perception of life forever. For example, you are made of 7 billion atoms, which is just 7, followed by 27 zeros. Can you just imagine how big that number is? Therefore, can you imagine how complex you are? And the best part of it, you can control every single one of them. Seems like you're pretty special, right? On the other hand, the thing that should come to your mind right now is that you are only one human. So you are only one of the 7 billion people in this world. So you are not special at all. Because every other single person is created exactly the same way as you are. In fact, if you disappear now, the number won't even change that much. Or at least it wouldn't be noticeable. So basically, we can admit that you are nothing. Wait, but how does this thing work? I mean, how can you be everything and nothing at the same time? When you only look at yourself, you realize that your worth is bigger than you've ever thought. But when you see the bigger picture, the situation changes completely. So what is the truth? What are you? Are you an everything or a nothing? Well, let's take it the other way. Can you imagine how many people out there can't see their real worth? They can be everything, not even for themselves, not even for the closer view, because they live every second waiting for another one to come, or maybe just regretting the past, but never, ever focusing on the present moment. And in case you didn't know what the present can offer you, I will just tell you. A better awareness of the real you. So in fact, the answer to the question doesn't even matter. Because who cares if you're an everything or a nothing? The truth is, you are both at the same time. The only one who matters is you, your worth, your awareness of the real you. Because you are like a white light that is always shining. And even if it's just one among so many, its energy will always remain there. And even when no one will see it, you will still feel it. Because this is the single answer you will ever need. So even if sometimes you have to open your eyes and just see the real truth, the fact that you are nothing, you have to focus on the closer view. Because if you don't, step by step, you will lose the everything. And that everything will be a nothing. And you will really be nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, Daria, for your wonderful speech. May I invite Bang Prang to give us the time report, please?
5 minutes 52 seconds.
Thank you, Bang Prang. Now I invite the first evaluator for evaluating Daria's speech. He is Mr. Shihan Paul. Shihan, the stage is yours. You have 2 minutes to share your report.
We often are in a journey of discovering ourselves. What are we? Is it everything or nothing? Daria and fellow Agorians. Today, I got the chance to evaluate one of the difficult speeches that I ever had the chance of evaluating. First and foremost, kudos for giving us that insightful, enlightening, enticing message to the entire audience. First, I'll start with the good points that you had during your speech. The contrast that you used was perfect. Now, according to the structure list, we often see that world are two binary opposite. We see, according to the Royal Barthes, we say worlds are in two opposites, contrasts. You got these two contrasts of everything and nothing. And the first example is you are made of 7 billion atoms followed by 20 zeros, 27 zeros. And again, you said it, you contrasted it with 7 billion people. And you gave us this idea of both everything and nothingness at the same time. So binary opposites were made immensely and nicely used, which is a very, you told me the master of the ceremony said that you are good with metaphors. You use that metaphor nicely, quite nicely. And also you asked the question, what are you? Are you everything or nothing? But you answered, giving no, don't care about it. Just care about you, because you could be sometimes both everything and nothing. And that is the perfect answer for this question. All right, let's move on to the point of recommendation. Now, speaking of this particular topic, this is something kind of like an existential topic. It's kind of like an advanced topic. So when you're talking to an audience, open audience, you have to be aware that sometimes all the people in the audience might not be aware of the same topic at your level. So as we are from different backgrounds, from different educational backgrounds, so it is better for you to have some sort of a soft touch of the topic. Having some personal experiences within the speech, like a story, would elevate your value and it will deliver the message properly. So next time when you are about to dive into such deep topics like this, have a little bit of personal experience and relate it to the rest of the audience so that the message will be delivered perfectly. Overall, it was a nice speech and I had a lot to think, and kudos to that, and best of luck for your next speech. Good down, Daria.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
2 minutes, 35 seconds.
Well in time. Thank you, Shihan. Thank you, Daria. And now it's time for me to invite the second evaluator for Daria's speech, Mr. Yashwin. Yashwin, you can unmute and start your camera.
Thank you, Coach. CK, dear Agorians and Daria, what an amazing speech, Daria, with a punchy message. You have been true throughout in all your statements about us being only one in just 7 billion, that number. At the same time, we find it negligible. And you highlighted how we can still make a difference. What I find commendable in your message is that right from the start, you started with an exercise, taking a deep breath. You used poses, strong eye contact, hand gestures. It sounded natural throughout. And then you transition through your speech while differentiating and linking that everything with nothing. You shared a powerful message and you motivated everyone to really make a difference by not being just a nothing. One thing I would like to highlight here for an improvement, Daria. All throughout, you have been artistic, using the poses, strong vocal projection, strong in content. At the same time, I believe it sounded abstract all throughout because your tonality was the same and the focus all around it revolved on that part of everything and nothing. It sounded philosophical. To make it even less abstract, I believe you could have cited 1 or 2 strong examples of how someone has differentiated himself or herself, thinking to be someone nothing, at the same time making special things to really sound special. And I believe you could have injected 1 or 2 stories with examples to make it even more lively, vivid, and to further add credence to the matter of your subject. Thereafter, you could have followed with the same line of conclusion, just like you did, and put a punch reinforcing the message that you shared. Otherwise, Daria, you have showed coherence throughout. I believe you're on the right track. You are someone who can really make a difference and show us that we are part of everything. Thank you, and back to you, Coach CK.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yashwin. Thank you, Daria. Let's laugh.
No. 2 minutes,
yeah,
25.
Ben, your timekeeper's report, please.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 25.
All right, great. All right, so now I think we had 3 speeches, 3 more to go. I think this is the time when we can take a 3-minute break, right? So the time is, how much time it is as per Singapore, Ben Peng?
7:54. We can meet at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, okay, fine. So 6 minutes. Thanks for being generous, Ben Peng.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, you take the show. Those who need to go and get a coffee can take a break. Those who don't need to, we can still discuss. I am very impressed with Daria. Daria gives me when she speaks, she gives me the impression I'm reading a very difficult book by Russell Bertrand. It caused me to think a lot. So it's very challenging, and those challenging philosophical ideas are what makes us grow. So I must thank Daria very much, because sometimes I hate difficult books to read, and I like those easy books. But when you read the difficult one, it challenges you, and then it expands your mind, and you explore a new idea that is sometimes alien to you. Right. So Daria, tell us, how did you come up with this idea of everything and nothing?
Well, it's kind of a problem that I studied for a long time. I mean, I usually wonder, wait, am I the special one, or am I like everyone thinks that is special? And if everyone thinks that is special, that means no one is special. So there's like a difference, but it's kind of the same thing. So I think, as I said in the speech, we are not everything or nothing. We are just both at the same time. So, yeah.
Yeah, you think very deep thoughts. It's not an easy subject to deal with, but you seem to be very comfortable. That's why I'm quite amazed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
At
thank
this
you.
very young age, you're delving in a topic which is such a thoughtful and a deep one. This is very commendable, Daria.
Thank you.
Personally, I would like to congratulate Daria. You are 15 years old, and yet you are miles ahead of other 15 years old. You know, when I
Absolutely,
brought back
this
my
is a
memory,
very
I knew nothing about this abstract philosophical topic, and you could present it in a very comfortable level, slow, a lot of pauses, very effective. I mean,
very,
most
very
of the
effective.
students who are under 18 years old, they will rush through, you know, but you are very comfortable, very, very comfortable. Fantastic. I really congratulate you.
I
Maybe.
repeat,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very effective. There, you paused very well. Your body language was so confident. You actually were showing your hands. You know, that for a 16-year-old, that's really commendable. You know, being so easy in front of a camera, that was absolutely amazing. And it's a very difficult topic that you have chosen. And I really loved it that you realized that both, the contrast, the opposite work together. And that is what, the world is. Everything is opposite works together. And it's not that one is not important, both are important. It is just at a special point of time what is required. At one point of time, one is required, and another point of time, the other is required. So both of them are equally important. So you cannot say that one is not important or the other is not important. Both are equally important. Congrats to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I was going to say the same thing. You have already said. At such a young age, she was very impressive. I was amazed. And I'm going to watch this YouTube recording over and over again because her, the way she delivered, I can't do that. And at such young age, and she has been able to do all the qualities a good speaker needs to have to grab attention of the public, and the contents, everything, and also poses as if she's a professional in delivering speech. It's been difficult to beat her. You can put her in front of any audience, and she can, give her a big applause. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Daria.
Thomas, say something.
Oh, okay. Well, Daria, I think you should smile a little bit more. because you come across, for such a young girl, you come across as being quite serious. Really, if you do a bit of smile, you don't come across as so like hostile, you know. You're a great speaker, your topic is great, and the only thing, if you smile a little bit more, it will be just perfect. That's my personal opinion. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So Bumping, Agora has a lot of fantastic speakers. I must congratulate you too. And we managed to pull all the great speakers, young and old, together, present their very best. So Daria, what is your ambition? Daria, now what is going to be next time? What is your passion? Yeah.
Well, I love arts, but as a profession, it's not my way because I know that it's not a really, you can't really make money from that job. So I think I will go as a prosecutor or maybe
Okay, a lawyer. Is that it?
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
It's good. Maybe, you know, I mean, prosecutor for a certain group, something that you believe in you know, right? Fantastic.
Thank
Go
you.
for it. Go for it.
Thank you, everybody, for wonderful feedback about Daria. I'm so impressed that if she can do, everybody has a lot of competition, right? All right. So now it's time for us to move on to our fourth speaker. You know, our fourth speaker is Nurul from Indonesia. You know, she is very loved amongst all the Agorians, and she is very chirpy, and she was the MC in our last meeting. And so it's my pleasure to introduce her today. So she's affectionately called Nu. She hails from the beautiful island of Sulawesi in Indonesia. She is a teacher and she teaches English and Japanese languages. What does Nu do when she's not teaching? It's a very good question to ask. She's loves swimming and playing tennis and making fun of her dad, who's tone and joke deaf. And what does Nu dream? Nu aspires to be a TEDx speaker. So best of luck for that, Nu. And she will be delivering engaging and humorous talk. She has just taken the first step to become a successful social media influencer. And today, she will talk how she sees the silver lining of living with what she assumes was a toxic father. The topic for her speech is choleric father. So, Nu, I invite you to the stage and deliver your 7-minute talk. Best of luck.
Thank
Big
you,
round of
Coach
applause.
CK. Cynical the Stoic said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When I was a child, I was cycling around the neighborhood and I stopped because there's an old man shouting again and again to his family. I was taken aback. I imagined my dad being that furious old man in the future. What a nightmare for children. I still can feel the fear I had at the time. My dad's very demanding. Even if we lived apart from him, he kept calling and instructing us. He imagined the worst thing. As a result, he was consumed by negativity, which affects us too. I was working in Bali when I decided to go back to my hometown here in Parepare to take care of my stressful dad. Of course, he doesn't buy this. He would go, No, she's here because I want to train her. She's weak. I had a flashback of the old man. After what happened, his wife looked at me with a bright smile, as if she told me the old man was being himself. In fact, she was chuckled. I had been frightened of my dad being furious old man, but hadn't thought of being the understanding grandma. So how to understand someone? Most of you are familiar with the 16 personalities, and I like to use the ancient way, the 4 temperaments: sanguine, phlegmatic, choleric, and melancholic. This is scientifically proven. My dad's choleric. He has that temperament, especially to his family. He would tell us off for every tiny mistakes, regardless of the time and place, and his shouting could resonate through the neighborhood. I used to embarrass with this, but now I can handle it. I've learned about my dad's personality. To argue with him is not the solution. He taught me to drive, for instance. How could you drive if someone sitting next side to keep yelling and pointing the mistake again and again? I said, "You're freaking me out. How can I drive?" And he would shout at me. That doesn't work. So I was emotionally drained. And then I tried not to carried away by his sentence, instead focused driving, and it worked. Apparently, driving alone is better. But one day I broke his car. I tried to hide it and looked for the mechanic. He eventually found out. Surprisingly, he didn't matter at all. And he told me, "I knew you were not there yet. Do not drive without me." Yes, he's right, but he's just way too anxious. He is easily irritated and he accepts no complaints. One day I told him I have a stomachache. I'm afraid he's listening to me. One day I had a stomachache and he said, "I told you blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "Oh, it's a prank. I'm okay," and weirdly danced. But that's actually true, but forget about telling him. That's about him. Another day, I forgot what happened. He finally realized that he's overreact. And he suddenly said, "Okay, I'm gonna change myself. Let's change together." I honestly never expect my dad would say that, as he's the Mr. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, more or less, we're influenced by our parents. Their traits, the good and the bad, load the gun. But it is our choices to pull the triggers. I can impersonate my dad. I mean, I can be mad. I can mad now. I didn't know how to mad before. And every time I impersonate him, like, I have never failed to make him laugh. So I'd like you to take your time to learn about your parents' personality and ponder over the good things from them or one of them that makes who you are today. For me, my love for English and sports came from my dad. He's handy. He made his own furniture. I don't, but I hope that translates to me good at baking. How about you? Over to you, Coach CK.
Thank you, Nu. So, Ben Peng, your timekeeper support, please.
5 minutes, 24 seconds.
Thank you. Now I invite the first evaluator, Mr. Edmund Chu, to come and give his report, his evaluator's feedback, please.
I cannot find Edmund.
Okay, no problem. Let's welcome Chung Yinhua to give her feedback, please. He's our
Okay.
evaluator today.
Yes. Thank you, Coach CK. And a big hello to Nurul. Thank you for your wonderful speech. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Well done. And I want to. I thought there were so many strengths that you bring to your speech. You have great presence. Yeah, you have wonderful facial expression, and you use your gestures wonderfully well. You project such confidence in front of the camera. You look at us, you smile, you interact with us. I could really feel the connection. So I love that part of it. That's really wonderful. I think like you are well on your way to your TEDx speech one day. Your clear voice, wonderful command of the language, and also you use so colorful language and brilliant illustrations. And I thought especially that for such a personal topic, I could also relate because you told so many stories, and stories that so many of us can relate to. Who hasn't had a father teaching us to drive and driving us crazy in the end, right? Yeah. So I was thoroughly convinced that you made a lot of effort, yeah, and you saw the silver lining, and you reached out to your father and connected with your father. And I'm sure I'm not the only one here for whom your speech has given us pause to think about how we can relate to a loved relative who sometimes can also make our life difficult. Yeah. So all in all, I really thought it was wonderful. Just a slight consideration, perhaps a slight suggestion for your consideration. I wondered if you could have structured the thing a little bit so that I could see some categories of the flow of your thoughts a little bit more. But otherwise, I think that's fantastic. Congratulations on your social media influencing journey, and see you next at TEDx. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chung Yinhua. Ben Peng, timekeeper's report, please.
2 minutes.
2
Sharp.
minutes. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Nu, and thank you, Chung Yinhua. Now I invite Mona Mehra. Mona, are you around? Yes. Would you like to be the second evaluator for Nu's speech, please?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, great.
I think you was so natural, and you spoke about parenting and how parents sometimes act, and it was so realistic, because I think we all must have been through that. And choleric, I've read that the various temperaments, and choleric is one personality which dictates a lot and doesn't listen. So I could relate to that very well. And that story about teaching somebody how to drive and all the time shouting what exactly you're doing, absolutely relatable. So your confidence and your clarity of the thoughts, what you wanted to get across, was absolutely understood, and I could understand what you're talking about. And it's a very personal topic, and I could understand your a little bit of hesitance when you're talking about it, because it is very personal to everybody, so especially when you're relating a personal experience. So I thought a little bit of flow and the structure. The only suggestion is that there could be a little more of a structure, the flow could be a little better. That's all I thought. It could have been sometimes a little bit more of a practice, because what I sometimes felt that you could have paused at certain places where you did not pause, or there were some spaces which the speech could have been a little bit more smoother. I think a little more practice and you could have done it. And absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mona.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, Nu. So that completes the fourth round of our proceedings today. Now we come to the fifth speech of the day. And the speaker for that is Mr. Brian Lin. Brian, are you ready? Can we
Sorry,
highlight
I didn't know I'm the sixth speaker. I thought I was the number 7.
Sorry?
But just let me quickly set this up.
Yeah. So let me meanwhile introduce him. Brian is the pharmaceutical data scientist and statistician based in New York City metro area. While Brian has years of training and experience in scientific research and psychology, he is always fascinated by human and invisible factors, which mysteriously move things in the directions not predicted by facts and data models. Wow, wow. It seems there is a higher power and human force that helps some people to get and to be the best they can be. So it looks very interesting, I'll be all ears, So Brian will be talking about how he envisions a human network that will help its members connect with other humans, ideas, information, and opportunities. That's what I'm looking for. So no one can help maximize one's potential, realize one's dream, and fulfills his or her life duties. The topic for his speech is the Magic Lamp Network. So without further ado, may I invite Brian Lin to assume the center stage, please. Let's greet him with a big round of applause.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah, actually, the magic lamp concept was my last presentation at the last Agora meeting. And today I would like to talk about another magical item that we all have in our house, which is this. I don't know if you can see it. It is the pen, actually. Today, from the beginning, we already know from Adeline and from Chong-Ying that this is the power that you can hold in your hand, and everybody should be writing a book these days. Yes, I'm no exception. When I was young, I spent a lot of time writing, and that was for homework assignments at school, and I was also writing to get published in some of those journals and student publications. And because of that, see my 2 fingers, this one is actually a little thicker than the other one because I put so much pressure when I was writing. And as a result, this finger is obviously fatter than the other one. But guess what? I'm not supposed to show the middle finger on a public speaking platform. I'm sorry for that. Years gone by, one day I wake up to the digital world. Certainly everybody using keyboard, and my professor asked me to do all my thesis on a keyboard, which I was kind of reluctant, but I get to pick up very quickly. I started learning to type in English, but I never actually learned it in Chinese. So all the homework I have to deliver in Chinese, I have to pay my classmates to type it in for me. And up to this day, I still cannot really type in Chinese on my keyboard, and I'm bilingual, obviously. One day I wake up again and I realize that I love writing. I can't just stick to the keyboard. While keyboards is very easy, I can type very fast in English. I could finish something quite quickly, but keyboard has its limit. And somehow pen and paper still come back to me. Because if I have a good idea, I think it's better to write it instead of try to type everything out. And of course, at the later stage, when I'm about to publish, I have all my ideas on paper, then it's time to type everything in. So for me, it's not an either or situation, because typing and writing with your hand and a pen or pencil are equally important, especially in the early stage when you are having ideas and you want to put ideas down. Typing is not really that good, because typing, you tend to be very linear, because you think of something and you type line by line by line. So your thinking is a straight line. But when you are writing on paper, you don't have to write straight, because you could have graphs, you can draw, you could write words in different languages, and you can have crazy idea. You can line up any way you like. And some of you may have heard a concept called mind mapping. And that is how the pen could really shine. I can probably show you an example of how mind mapping work by showing one of my screen over here. And can you see my screen? It is this is how I prepared this particular presentation. I write everything down on paper, and then I started doing something else, like typing on the keyboard for the key messages. And this is something that I think I would encourage everybody to start doing, because the pen is not your enemy. The keyboard is not your friend. Both of those things are important for your creative process. And for me to think about how we live in the 21st century, we need to use both. But how can you use both of them very efficiently? I have a very simple solution. And this is something that everybody should have in his or her pocket. This is my cell phone. And this is the key to bridge your writing and the typing world. Because there are so many different kinds of apps and software and things that you connect your typing to your writing, or your writing to your typing. Because I keep everything on OneNote platform, all my typing, all my writing, I keep them on the OneNote platform. But if you are an Evernote user, you can keep it on Evernote. The key is that you never let any of your idea go wasted. Write it down somewhere, recorded it with your phone, or you could just type it in if you have a keyboard ready to you. The key is to record everything that is important to you. No matter what you use, either use a pen, a keyboard, a video recorder, a phone, or you could just call Bang Pen and tell him about your idea and he'll record it for you. No, sorry, Bang Pen, I just put you on the spot. It's not actually the right way to do it. But if you have an idea, you have nothing, you can record it. Just call a friend and tell him or her about your idea, ask that person to record it for you. As I said, the key is to record everything important to you, whether using a keyboard or using a writing pen and a pad. And these days, I even write on my iPad using an Apple Pencil, but that's just another talk for another day. So ladies and gentlemen, someone said the pen is mightier than a sword. And I totally believe that. But guess what? You can have the keyboard too. Back to you, Coach CK.
Thank you very much, Brian. You did not give us the opportunity to laugh. All right. Ben Peng, timekeeper's report, please.
6 minutes, 52 seconds.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Brian, for this inspiring speech. Thank you, Ben Peng, for this timekeeping. And now I invite our first evaluator, Jeremy. Jeremy, are you here? Can you see Jeremy Benpeng?
Hi, I'm there.
All right, Jeremy. So we welcome
Thank
you
you,
to
CK,
provide
for
your feedback.
inviting me. Brian Lane, fantastic idea that you gave us to write down our ideas and record what we have in our minds. That you expressed your thoughts in a very logical and clear manner so that we can gather it very well. I think your suggestions are extremely good. Nothing like using a pen to put down what you think in a way that we can understand. You have, Brian, shown her how to mind map your idea on piece of paper. It's a very good method to put out what you know and come out with what you are going to say in a speech. Your use of language was excellent. Very well done, Brian. You used the time also very well to give your speech. I think if you could have explained a little bit more on how to use the mind mapping process to put your idea. We saw the screen, but it was not clear enough. So next time, if you can make it much clearer what you want to tell us, it would have been much better. Excellent work, Brian. I look forward to listening to you in the future too. All the best to you, Brian, in your projects. Over to you, CK.
Thank you, Jeremy, for your wonderful feedback. Benpeng, the
1 minute, 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you, Benpeng. And thank you, Brian Lin, for this wonderful speech. And that completes our 5th round. So now we are ready to welcome the 6th speaker and the last speaker of the day.
Let me check whether he's in the room because
yeah, please.
CK, I was to evaluate Brian Lane.
Oh, Mona, you want to evaluate?
So
I was asked. Yeah.
No, I gave you the turn earlier to evaluate Nu.
Okay, I thought I was just preparing for a bit.
Yeah, all right. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I think Dr. Gary is not in the room. Let me see. Gary, are you in the room? No, Gary is not here. He told me he finished work. He's rushing to his home, but I think he cannot make it on time.
All right.
Okay, we can do other things first, and then because we are a little bit ahead of schedule. So whoever want to speak or give feedback, we can give some time for that because our meeting ends at 9, but now we still have half an hour to go. So you manage, coach, you decide.
Yeah, so I would definitely like more people to give the feedback to any of the speakers for about 5 to 7 minutes. But then I would invite Benpeng to deliver your keynote speech, how to do our speeches even better and how to sell ourselves. You are the expert, so we can't let you go without giving us the opportunity to listen to you.
Okay, thank you, coach. I actually have a time slot which is from 9 p.m. onwards, so I have half an hour there. I think for now we give the other people a chance to speak because I got half an hour to speak from 9 to 9:30.
All right, sure. So who would like to speak? And please let us know which speech are you talking about? The name of the person and the topic. That would be wonderful.
I think Mona wanted to say something.
Mona.
Yeah, Mona, can
go
you
ahead, Mona.
I was asked in the beginning by you to do Brian Lim's evaluation, so I had done it. So I'll just go through it. I found Brian Lim to be extremely very clear thoughts, and he started with showing a pen, and then he made showed his middle finger, which is really very funny. The anecdote was really very funny, and it really your thoughts were very very clear, that you came across your that the power we all hold in our hands, that is the pen is mightier than sword. That thought absolutely came across. And the only suggestion that I had is that there could be a little bit of tonal variation, but I thought that the tone was a little on the same all throughout. And secondly, the title of the speech was The Magic Lamp Network. I thought, is that the topic of this speech, the Magic Lamp Network? Because I thought a little it was more in terms of the ideas and thoughts. That's what I found, a little bit of dissonance there. So that is the only suggestion. Otherwise, a very excellent speech, and I really loved listening to you, because it was absolutely very well structured, and your ideas and thoughts, how to go about it, and recording that, absolutely, that really lines. Thank you so much.
Mona, I must apologize because we used the wrong script to introduce Brian. That was the script for introducing Brian for the last meeting where he presented the magic lamp. But because he's so good and the script is so good, I used it as a template for other people. And then when we plug out the template to introduce him, I think we took the wrong one. He has
okay.
maybe
Okay.
I should read the introduction now, you know.
Okay.
CK, do you have the other script for Brian? You can read it now.
Let me read that.
Yeah, okay, that will help us a little bit.
Yeah, 1 second, please.
Sorry, it's my fault. I circulated too many of the scripts.
No, I just thought the title was a little.
Pumping, do you have time? I can deliver a 5 to 7 minute speech.
Okay, leave it to the coach.
Yeah.
Coach can decide.
Yeah, sure, we can do that, definitely.
Okay.
So, but do you want me to read Brian's introduction once again?
Oh yeah, you can do that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
so,
you can, after that, can let
or maybe I just read the topic about the topic, you know, because we know Brian now. So most people do not know that Brian's middle finger on his right hand is wider than one on his left, because he spent way too much time holding a pen and putting pressure on the third finger when he was young. Brian switched to mostly typing when he was in graduate school. In the past few years, Brian has been trying to have the best of the two worlds, bridging between writing by hand and typing on the computer. He believes those two mechanisms have their own purposes. His topic for today was future of writing. So sorry about that,
Brian. This is the first time we have the speech first, then we introduce.
Yeah, all right. So who would like to give the next and the last speech, please?
I think Ernest volunteer.
Ernest,
Ernest,
go ahead.
you got one minute to introduce your topic, and then 7 minutes to deliver your speech. Okay, I will start counting now. When you start speaking, that means you have total 8 minutes.
Thank you. Okay. My topic is the quotation by John F. Kennedy. A person may die, nations may rise and fall, but the idea lives on, by John F. Kennedy. When I was studying in Australia, I stayed with a group of like-minded people from Singapore and Malaysia. And what we did in the evening was very fantastic. After finishing our homework, our university work, we gather around in the lounge and start talking. We talk about everything. Most of them are nonsense. We talk about how to rob a bank and we can retire for life. We talk about how we can communicate with our family members in Malaysia or in Singapore. We don't have to go through the operator and book a block of 3 minutes to speak. We talk about how we can build a car that can fly. We talk about how we can fly just like a rocket man. We talk about many, many crazy things. So those were the times that we really talk, because talk is cheap. What we do is that there's nothing wrong by talking. We all know that innovation and technology has become the norm of today. This is the new norm. Everything is tech-driven. Nowadays, everybody owns a handphone, and you can talk with anybody around the world. You can connect with everybody around the world. You don't have to book through the operators. Driverless car, driverless trains are in operation now. And many technological companies in the world are experimenting with a car that can fly. They'll be in the market in 2 years' time. And I just saw the video yesterday, and company in London, they are doing the rocket man. You just hook the small machine at the backpack and zoom, you go. So my dear friends, if we were talking nonsense, no, not really nonsense. If we talk something and we take action, some of us will be like Jack Ma, Bill Gates, or even Steve Jobs, making a lot of money. So a person may die, nations may rise and fall, but an ideas live on. Ideas have endurance. It is a timeless endurance, no death. If a man can conceive and he believes, he can achieve. The mind is the most important thing that we have. The mind can change the world. Even a crazy man like Adolf Hitler, he believed that he can create a pure race and change the world. Of course, he nearly did, but lucky he did not succeed. A man called Karl Marx, the creator of communism, he used his idea and put in the book and changed the world's politics and economy in the book called Das Kapital. When I was young, I always wanted to be special in a family. We have 10 siblings. I wanted to be different from them. Most of my siblings, they study at the local university and get a first degree. But Ernest Chen was different. I wanted to go overseas to try to do adventure. So I started writing to the institute in Sydney. When I get all the paperwork done, even the visa, then I handed to my father. I said, Father, I'm going to Australia after I finish my Set 4. He got a shock, nearly got a heart attack. But I persuaded him, he relented, and the rest was history. After graduation, I came back. My father passed away. He had a stationery business. None of the siblings wanted to take over. So Ernest Chen, being a daring one, I took over the business. But running a stationery business was not in my ideas, was not in my agenda. So what did I do? I changed the business. I still retain the stationery business because the stationery business is an anchor. It is a springboard for me to do something different. I really wanted to do a trade exhibition business, something that's different. So I converted that into a trade exhibition business. I have no prior experience, but I have ideas. And I succeeded in the first exhibitions. I make a lot of money. I pay off the debt for the stationery business. 14 years later, because of world recession, I folded up my business. But through the trade exhibition business, it gave me opportunity to travel around the world. I attended many international conferences. I attended a lot of training programs. And I look at the people speaking, and they make a lot of money, and they became famous. I thought, hey, maybe I can do some training and speaking. So that gave me an opportunity. I switched from stationery to a training business. Why? In stationery business, I have to have inventory, I have to have cost for warehousing. But in training, the warehousing is here. It's in the brain. It's free of charge. So I became a trainer. After joining a Toastmaster, it gave me the opportunity to learn how to train. My dear friends, everything depends on the ideas. Everything is from ideas to actions. I remember what Dennis Gabor, the 1971 Nobel Prize winner, said. You cannot predict the future, but you can invent the future. I remember on the eve of my departure for Australia, my mother told me, son, study hard and you be a doctor. I didn't say yes, I didn't say no, I just nodded my head because I was on upstream. How to be a doctor? I could not, but the idea is implanted in me. 6 years ago, I was conferred a PhD. So a doctorate in a different format. I can never forget about those things in my mind. But my father and my mothers were long gone. My dear friends, once you have the idea in you, never give up, never let it slip away. No matter when, no matter how, you can always transform your ideas into something that's reality. Ladies and gentlemen, the ideas is in you, change it and you get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Einstein. And thank you.
7 minutes, 28 seconds.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Pan Pang. So now I invite two of my friends to come and volunteer for providing the feedback.
Yes, welcome the feedback.
Yeah, Syed, please go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, good evening to all of you. I think, Ernest, that was quite inspiring, especially it is someone of yours. Sure. You started off very well with a very nice quote. It catches the attention of the audience. Then you took a journey, which is like a takeoff. Then there was a very good flow. Overall, I think that you were able to hold the audience and you narrated your story very well. And it has very good, beautiful structure and very nice ending as well. And especially, I like the part that you finished your PhD and you become a doctor. And this is very inspiring. You see, I mean, when you say a stationary business, it is like a petty business. But you didn't. You took a stationary business, but you turned it to something else. That was a good transformation there. Then you yourself become a doctor. That's again a great achievement. Not an easy one. I know that. I think overall, your whole thing was very inspiring as a speech as well as a content itself. It was quite inspiring. Both it has both in it. Thumbs up.
Thank you, Syed. Ben Peng.
1 minute, 2 seconds.
Wonderful, wonderful. So who would like to volunteer as the second evaluator? Anybody? Tony is here? Tony is not here.
Somebody have not spoken the whole night. Who is that? Angela. Where's Angela Lansbury? Angela.
Yes.
Okay. You give some feedback to Ernest.
I'm very much enjoyed that speech. Firstly, because I know Ernest very well, but I didn't know him well enough to know his past history. So that was fascinating. It's always interesting to hear it encapsulate someone's entire life, their parents, how they studied and how they succeeded, the setbacks and the lovely quotations we heard. I enjoyed all of that. I thought as a speech, it was absolutely perfect. Ernest, like 2 or 3 other speakers, have just 1 or 2 items of English that could be looked at. One is the past tense. A lot of people talk in the present tense, which is fine if you're doing a horse race. The man is coming along, he's about to jump, and you think, oh, it's happening now. And that's absolutely fine in Chinese, but in English, you're sort of thinking, was it happening yesterday, or is it happening now? And you're trying to cope with it. So if you're talking about the past, make sure you use the past tense. That's the only thing I have to say. I absolutely loved the speech. It was absolutely fascinating and it was inspiring. So I loved it. That's all I have to say. Back to you, Gaia.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
And
1 minute and 5 seconds.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now I take the opportunity to invite Ben Peng to take the center stage and deliver his keynote.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Coach. Okay. Let me change my backdrop. Hold on. First, we must all thank Coach CK for doing such a wonderful job as the MC for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I think we started on time. We finished, in fact, ahead of time. And wait, let me see if Gary told me he's logging in. Let me see if he's in the room. Gary, are you here? Gary?
Yes, I am.
Okay, are you ready to speak?
No, I'm not.
You are not. Okay, in that case, you speak at the next meeting, or you want a few minutes to prepare?
You are still speaking, is that right?
No, we have time if you wish to, like, I know you rushed home. If you need some time to settle down before you speak, I can speak first and then you can speak after me. Do you want to do that, or you want to save your speech for another time?
I'm happy to do either way. We can do a short one after you're done. We can do that.
Okay. Okay, I'll go first and then you speak.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Let me go back to speaker's view. My friends, this is a professional salesperson's workshop. When we are speaking, we are selling. What are we selling? First thing is we sell ourselves. People must like us. Agree? What else must people buy? Anyone? You can unmute. People must trust us. They must believe us. And what else must they buy? They must believe you are competent. If you are not competent, no use. You can talk whatever, right? That is why your introduction is very important. That's why I ask each of every one of you to prepare your 1 minute power introduction. That is that introduction you need not only for Agora training, but you need that when you meet somebody in the bus, on the train ride, in the restaurant, in the lift. For the lift, you have like a 10 seconds power introduction, but you need that. So if anybody meets you, Yinghua, and they ask you, Yinghua, what do you do? What would you say? Adeline, If I meet you in the lift, I say, Adeline, what do you do? Are you able to introduce yourself in like 10, 15 seconds and make an impact? Many of us do not prepare for that. And we found that we don't have opportunities. Our business is not growing, right? But actually, you can sell every minute you meet people. You look at Coach CK, the way he's groomed, the way he smiles, the way he carries himself. Don't you think you like very much to do business with him? All right. So these are, you cannot spend your time telling people, I am so clever, I'm the best accountant, give me your business. People will think you are crazy, Mr. Gay, right? But by the way you carry yourself, people must be able to feel, right? So what do? I tell all my staff, groom well. Look at me, I cut my hair, I comb my hair, I wear a necktie, right? Sometimes I wear a jacket. Why is that important?
First impression.
First impression, right? People must have the positive impression. Not only that, for me, I go a little bit further. I rent an office. I have an office at well, not the most expensive building, but a fairly respectable building, rather than save on rental and have an office somewhere further away from the city. Why? We are selling. When I do not groom well, when my colleagues in the office do not groom well, when I have my office at a rundown building, very cheap, I can still get all the work done. But no matter what fee I charge my client, it's always too expensive. But when I groom well, my staff groom well, we have a very pleasant looking office in a respectable building. Nobody question my fee. They are happy to pay my fee, right? So that is very important to me. Now, most of you are just starting the journey of selling, right? Speaking, appearing on the screen like now, or in the street meeting people, we are all selling. There are many, many areas of selling, but today, I only want to focus in my short time I have, selling yourself. And that is where your 1 minute power introduction is so important here. So you see, when we introduce Brian, or introduce Adeline, or introduce Chung Yinghua, wow, right? You create the very positive image and expectation already. But if you do not introduce you well, the introduction can actually break you. So don't leave it to chance. Don't let the MC introduce you in any way he wants. You always prepare a script and you always tell him, follow the script. Don't add jokes, humor, or whatever, because you will diminish me, right? So your script for the MC is the very important first step. Then that will set you up for success. So that is one tip. I'll give you a second one, right? People must feel they can trust you, they can rely on you. So how do you, can you just tell people you can trust me? Look, you can trust me. It doesn't work that way. So if you watch all the credible people, Adeline, Coach CK, Chung Yinghua, they all check in early. They don't log in late. I'm not making fun of Dr. Gary. I know when I invited him, he told me already, right? He's busy, he got work to do, but he will come check in late. He already told me, right? But other people, you just watch. If a person cannot keep a small promise to log in early, how can you trust him on a big contract? Can he keep the promise? right? So little things like that adds to your personal brand. And this is something I want to share. Just these two main points today. You got to sell yourself. How you sell yourself is by your grooming, by your demeanor, by how you carry yourself, how you behave, right? So that is my keynote speech for today. Then I'll hand over to Coach CK. Coach, take it away.
Thank you, Ben Peng, for your keynote and educating us on how to sell ourselves, creating our personal brand. Now it's time for me to introduce the last speaker of the day, Dr. Gary Tho. Gary, are you ready?
Gary.
Gary?
Yes, let's go.
All right, great, great. So let me give a small introduction about Dr. Gary Tho. He is the world champion of public speaking 2021 educational speech contest. He represented Australia in badminton. My goodness, you look very young. He served as a volunteer for the firefighting exercises. And what is his passion? Dr. Gary Tho works at making the world a better place, like myself, like each one of us, right? He sets aside a part of the income from his practice towards project to help end the poverty. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. And Gary travels to experience the situation and lives of the underprivileged. So what does Dr. Tho want? He wants to give us a glimpse into how to use virtual backdrops effectively as a tool to do better communication, like what we are doing today. You know, Dr. Ben Peng is changing his background, but Dr. Gary Tho is going to provide us even deeper information. What makes Dr. Tho a suitable person to speak on this topic? Well, he has conducted many successful projects for his clients. His clients include P&G, Barclays, and Pfizer. What is Dr. Gary Tho's speech topic today? His speech topic is virtual background, the power tool. And so now I invite Dr. Gary Tho to deliver his 7-minute speech, please. Let's welcome him.
Thank you, Coach CJ. There's a lot of pressure there. I would like to first thank Mr. Gare for the very last minute invitation to speak today. And I hope that everybody here likes my background. Now, if you look very closely at me, just stare at the screen very intently, you might feel like you're on a boat. And trust me, that feeling that you're on a boat, if you just stare right at me, that feeling that I'm on a boat is not a virtual background. It is reality. Right now, I am not on a boat. But what I am doing is I'm holding onto a selfie stick and I'm standing out in the middle of God knows where, trying to find my way to meet somebody. And I was on a bus just now. And so this is my virtual background. And can you believe this? Is that no matter where you are, and especially if you're at home, you can always look professional. You can always look sharp. But it does come down to a few things. And of course, one is having very good lighting. So if you don't have good lighting, you're always going to be dark. Second thing that I'd like to share with you is that when we use virtual backgrounds, we do need a green screen or preferably something that's kind of far away from you. If you don't have a green screen, virtual backgrounds become a little bit difficult to use because when you start moving your hands or moving your head, you'll realize that sometimes your hair gets a nice haircut or your ear disappears or maybe your fingers are, changing. So lighting and green screen is definitely going to be part of the virtual background tool. I'm here today just to share with you very quickly what I would be sharing. And these are just some of the tips of how you can use virtual backgrounds. And not only that, but also to use virtual background as a slideshow. So I've presented to people where they've told me, oh, actually, I hate hearing speakers with slides, but for you, I will give you an exception. And that's because when you use slides well, when you have minimal content, and when you have very nice, big, bold words or succinct and deliberate pictures, that is all you're ever going to need. So with that, if you'd like to join in and learn more about how to make this reality, how to use the virtual world to your benefit and to your advantage, please sign up with Mr. Gare when he shares with you the details on how to use the virtual background smoothly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary, for your wonderful speech.
Gary has offered to conduct a workshop for us.
Yes. Yes.
On effective use of the very effective use of the virtual background. I learned a lot from him, but I will show you some basics if you like. Gary, correct me if I'm wrong. I will put myself on the speaker's view, then you can all see me. Okay, Gary, correct me if I'm wrong. I conducted a workshop recently using this this method, my own amateur method. So that was the first slide I have. Okay, now I'm sitting here and talking to training people on Personal Data Protection Act, right? And then it's like a half a day workshop. So I have next item, syllabus. This is a training syllabus, and then I'll talk. And then I will go into the methodology. How am I going to deliver this workshop? And I talk for another few minutes, and then I move on to what is the focus of our training today? And blah, blah, blah. I speak, and then we say, okay, then next, right? Why do we need the PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act? And I talk and talk and talk. Okay, and then I move on. Does it apply to you? And so on, right? Now, why am I showing you this? Many people use share screen, but I learned from Dr. Gary that this is much better. I felt, and the people also respect. My students also felt this is a lot better. So I do not know. There are better ways to do it. That's why I invite Dr. Gary to come back to conduct a workshop for us. So if you are interested, let us know. Then we will have it in December. I'll hand over to Coach CK.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. For ending the event with the hopes for the next event, which is going to be delivered by Dr. Gary. And so now I invite everybody to come and laugh with me.
Louder.
So let me give you a brief introduction about myself, as I promised that I will give my own introduction at the last part of the workshop. So I'm a happiness coach, I'm a laughter expert, and I deliver workshops to corporates as well as to government and corporate bodies on how to make your life easier, how to make your life effective through these exercises in laughter, as well as we have deep processes. You know, we have developed a 7-step program on how to make your life happier. So this is a 6-week program that I have developed. And each week I deliver on one step of the process. And I've also written a book called laughlines.org. And people have always requested me to come and deliver some keynote to make their employees happier. Because when you are happy, when you are in a jolly mood, you tend to think better, you know. And the end goal of every activity, the end goal of every human endeavor, the end goal of every project, every education, every job is to make your life better and make yourself happier. So if we postpone our happiness, we actually, in the process of getting the happiness, we actually get a lot of stress. But if we reverse the order, if we start with happiness, if we start with smiles, if we start with laughter, you know, what happens is that we generate endorphins in our brain, and they help us to make our life happier. We actually tend to think better. So what happens is that the people around us, they get the aura, they get the good vibes, and they vibrate at your energy, and that helps in making you, the people around you, become your team, become aligned with your goals. And when you have people tuning to your vibrations, you can achieve anything under the sun. Do you agree? Yes.
Yes.
So this is my humble attempt to make everybody's life happier. So I invite everybody who wants to join in this project, you know, because I have taken this mission to make 1 million people laugh all the way to the bank, doing what they are most passionate about. So if you have a passion to make other people's life better, if you want to make this world a better place, please join my mission. You know, so you can search Coach CK Arora on Google, and you will land up somewhere on my site. You know, so you can get connected to me. Otherwise, you can also. I'm on the group created by Ben Peng, and I've created another group for today's event. So please write to me, and it will be my pleasure to help you in any way I can. Thank you very much. And with that, I pass it on back to Ben Peng.
Thank you, Coach. Coach CK has kindly offered us to conduct a workshop for us. Okay, so those who are we will announce it soon. Then, if you're interested, remember to register. So we have 2 sets of workshops coming up. One is from Dr. Gary To, one is from Coach CK. That's in addition to our ongoing professional salespersons training as well. Soon as I confirm the arrangement with Coach CK, we can start running that training from Coach, and the other one as well. Okay, now we have come to the end of the program. I noticed there are many people in the room. They didn't have a chance to speak earlier. Maybe Coach, we actually have another half an hour. What you can do is, if you can, help me invite those whoever has anything they want to share, they want to promote, they can give them a chance to talk. And those who have not spoken, we should invite them to introduce themselves and say something as well. Okay, sure. I hand it over to Coach CK.
Sure, thank you very much. So what I am going to do is I am going to first look at the names which of the people who have not got a chance to speak today. So if that's okay with you, I may invite Mr. Srinivas Sivaram to come and unmute and start camera and start speaking whatever you want to share about yourself or about the workshop today.
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Srinivas Savaram. I am from a place called Visakhapatnam. We call it Vizag, those of us who are familiar, in India. I am glad to be here. Ben Peng, thank you for letting me join in late. Whatever I could witness from the time that I joined was as expected every time when I come to Singapore. It's wonderful, learned a lot. Enjoyed myself here. Back to you, Coach CK Arora. Thank you.
Srinivas. And Miss Alice Tan, would you like to speak, please?
Hello. Thanks, Mr. Gay, a lot for inviting me to this what you call gathering or meeting. It's my first time and I'm really enjoying it very much. Hopefully in the near future, I have something to contribute because I actually retired a few years ago, but not really retired as per se. I'm still doing a lot of neighborhood volunteerism and also in fact, I also bought Miss Chong Ying-Hua's book a few weeks ago. I only read the first few pages. So I promise I will continue reading. But
Thank you.
I hope to understand the activities. I find it very interesting. And in time to come, I hope I can contribute something. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alice. May I invite Paul Ho to come and speak a few words, please?
Hello, my name is Paul Ho. I'm from.
You're muted, Paul.
Hello, my name is Paul Ho, and I'm from Singapore. So thank you very much to Bunting, my big brother, for inviting me. He's not my real big brother, but he's big brother. So we work together on a number of things. I'm also a mortgage and finance broker. So I bring products, financial products and selections to the people, and then I help them to compare and generate reports and analysis for them. So that's what I do. And I'm actually today I'm resting at home because I got COVID yesterday. So I'm on a 10-day self-isolation in my room. So just to introduce myself, the one here on the right-hand side in blue color is me. The one on the left-hand side in gray color is also me. So yeah, so that's me. All right.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this is before and after effect, huh?
Before and after. Yeah.
So that's great. So I wish you speedy recovery from COVID.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So may I now invite Mr. Laik Chaudhary to unmute and speak a few words, please?
Oh, hi. Thank you. I was introduced by Syed today, and suddenly I bump up this group. I really enjoy it. I live in UK. Is capital of Wales in Cardiff. So I'm from Cardiff. So I'm really enjoying the session, and hopefully in future we're gonna connect more and learn more. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. And may I now invite Lee Mei to speak a few words, please? Lee? Lee Mei?
Coming.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Up. Okay. Hi. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
What am I going to say? I'm in Portugal. It's lunchtime here, so you saw me eating just now. I'm so sorry if I appear too rude, I enjoy.
Tell us which speaker you enjoy the most. Which speech you enjoy the most?
Oh, let me see. I have to look at the face first. Yinghua, the book. Isn't it a book? Yes. Yes. I understand because my late husband wrote the book too many years ago. And his book is like 700 pages. And we don't have computer. We don't have digital stuff at that time. I mean, we have typesetting. We have we do it on a computer. Yes, a Macintosh thing, and lots of proofreading to do. Yeah, we publish ourselves. I got it printed in Johor Bahru. No, I got it printed in KL. It's cheaper then. Yeah. This is how I have my late husband in his novel. But I'm an artist. I don't write. Can't write. Okay. I hope you'll come to Portugal and pay me a visit when the time to traveling is okay.
We will.
Yes.
Thank you, Limei.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, may I invite Luis to speak a few words, please?
Yeah, sorry I've been late because no, my time have so many other commitments. Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you for the invitation, Ban Ping. I didn't hear the speech on and off, because I was on the line, so I cannot give any feedback. But one thing I want to share on my mind, somebody talked about change. Is it difficult for us to change? If we think the same way, say the same thing, and do the same thing, I think change will not occur. Yeah, there must be something inside us, internal, first have to change. Usually we will say, oh yeah, I cannot change now. No, I'm like that. I've been brought up like that. The environment, my experiences make me like that. I cannot change. But actually, we think hard. Everyone has a background. Yeah, but to change is actually good for the brain. Yeah, not only the brain need nutrients, exercise, but the most important is the new roots for the neutrons to grow. So, learn new things, change your speech, change something. Yeah, that's the way to counter anti-aging, anti-dementia, or whatever you name it. Yeah, just want to share.
Thank you, Luis, for sharing your wonderful thoughts. May I now invite Dunstan to come and speak a few words, please? Dunstan.
Hi, sorry, I was just out of the room for a while. Well, my name is Dunstan Chan, and I look at the audience here. A number of them I know for many, many years, maybe over 20 years, like Ban Peng, Ernest, and Kim Seong, and others, because we were in Toastmasters before. I was one of the early ones in the 90s. We joined, all right. My interest is slightly different, and from what's happening now is this: I've been involved in voluntary organization for a long time, maybe about 40 years. I am the president of the Social Welfare Council, and also a few other voluntary organizations. That's my focus. Right? My focus inside that is more to do with helping people to take the first step, and particularly the youth. So in terms of public speaking communication, I'm more focusing on helping those who cannot speak, who are afraid to speak, to bring them up here. So when I look at this group, it is good. And this is what I would consider as an advanced group, because this is a collection of people who are already competent. But my focus is on people who wouldn't dare even to stand up, who couldn't even string two sentences together. So we do the most basic. At the moment, I'm coaching 16 people, and they really have problem. So we went down from the base. So I teach the basic building blocks of communication. You guys are already very proficient. So this is a different scenario here. We are talking about an advanced communication group. I work with people who really can speak, and hopefully to bring them. I'm very happy from my past experiences that the greatest joy you have is where you take somebody who could hardly string two sentences together to stand on stage, and one of them even won some regional speech contest, and I feel very, very happy with that fulfillment, right? But I'm happy to be here and to listen in, and there's a lot of wise words coming in. The one thing which impressed me is that young girl. What's her name? What's the name of the young girl from Romania?
Daria.
Daria, yes. And that is the kind of people who I'm focusing on, you see, who just starting. But Daria has a head start from everybody else because she's already very competent. And I really hope that I can get in touch with her, because I'm a writer, which means I write every week. I write a column. And I've been writing column for the last 15 years, which I find very interesting because it's a lot of pressure, because you sign a contract to produce a 1,000 to 1,500 word essay every week. And from my own experience, I find that writing, of course, is not easy. A lot of people sign up as columnists and they give up after 2 months, right? I lasted about 13 years already and have not missed a single deadline. So I learned something along the line. And I'm also trying to help a group of people who says they want to be speakers and to get them to write. So I'm interested to talk to Inwa, yeah, one day, and hopefully can help people who can't do it and who wants to do it but who can't do it, right? So if I were to give a speech sometime, I would choose the speech called But and. But and. Somebody said, I want to be a speaker, but. That's very bad. So like Inwa was saying that, I want to be a speaker and that is the positive, and therefore what are you going to do? So I one day I'll give a speech about but and. The same as we giving evaluation. We said that was a good speech, but. So the minute we hear but, we are already defensive because we knew something is going to happen. It's better to say, yeah, it was a good speech and then it'll be something else. Anyway, that is my 2 cents worth, and I hope to listen to you guys more in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Dunstan. So may I now invite Fulchan to come and share your thoughts, please.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Yes, I am Fulchan Ajala. I'm from Mauritius. Perhaps you know, a small island in the Indian Ocean near Madagascar. I'm accountant in profession. I work for the Mauritius Revenue Authority, conducting audits, tax audits. I've known Agora since about August and September. Every time I come in a meeting, I said, why was it some 20 years back or earlier? Okay, because I always have this problem of speaking in public. There is this anxiety, and sometimes for nothing I get emotional. I don't know. It happened like that every time, and every time, you know, I used to prepare, organize for a welfare association at work, say like team buildings, end of your parties. I never address the audience. I always chose a friend, okay, to speak for me. I always remain in the background, doing everything. I can do 99% of the things, organize everything, get everything done, but could not speak. But fortunately, about 2 weeks ago, I delivered my first speech in Agora, just about 2 months after getting into it. But I listened people like Dunstan upon his recommendation last time. He said, okay, you have to do it today. And in Agora, you've got, you know, many people. They're like, we are in a family, you know, everyone helping each other. And I appreciate that very much. And, you know, it comes from my heart. You know, just now, you know, I got emotional. I don't know. It happens, and every time it happens like that, it blocks me, even for speaking. That's why I have to, you know, just try and do it over and over again, so that I can very confidently talk in public. And many times when I hear people talking on YouTube, I watch like the Pressure U University, how confidently they speak, they address to their, you know, audience, logical manner, explaining everything. I wanted to be like them. And like many people like here in Agora, I appreciated and I enjoyed watching Daria, so young, and she delivered the speech very neatly, you know. And you know, this is what, you know, I try to be in Agora's meeting every week, because even though sometimes I did not speak at start, but you learn from each and every one. Every meeting you attend, there is something, one sentence, one word that is said. I write it down, okay, because this is what has to be applied. And many things I've done wrongly in the past, but the message that you gave today, okay, people must like you. People must, you must show happiness for people to like you, to understand you, and then to have, you know, confidence in you, for them to listen to you. This is a very strong thing that I have always strived and never been able to, because maybe people, when they come and join me in some activities that I do, it is only for the activity and then they go back. They don't come back again. They come and enjoy and go. And okay, that's it from me. Sorry, I've taken so. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Fulchand, for sharing your thoughts. We have one space for one more person to speak his or her thoughts. So who would like to volunteer for this last speaking slot, please?
Is it okay if I add something? Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Who would like to speak, please?
Yeah, so hi.
Yes, Shihan. Yeah, please.
Yeah. My name is Shan Paul. So I'm all the way from Sri Lanka. This is my first time attending to an Agora speakers meeting. And I was invited by Angela Lansbury. Thank you, Angela, my good friend over there. And I mean, from the beginning of COVID-19, I wanted to have this new normal experience in a different way. Of course, in a country like Sri Lanka, we are having a lot of internet connection issues and everything. And then I wanted to make that all entire new normal culture and opportunity. So it's been a roller coaster, because I've been attending to different cultural exchange programs and meetings all across the world, just like Agora, Toastmasters. And I really love this experience because I got to learn a lot of stuff from people all around the world, different cultures of different languages, different ethnicities. We get together and speak about our life stories. And today I got to listen to these wonderful people who have done, I'm just 22 years old. I'm still studying material science and engineering at my local university. So it's still a long way to go. And today I listened to a lot of stories from great writers like Chung Ying-Wa, and I got to listen to young inspirational leaders like Daria. I really love those speeches, and that is amazing about this entire meeting. Thank you very much for having me here, and I'm very excited to be a part of your future meetings as well. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, Shihan. So with that, I think I'll pass on the control back to Ben Peng for his closing remarks.
Thank you, Coach. I think all of us must thank Coach for a great job. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
I have a challenge for you, Coach. The next meeting, you coach somebody to be the MC.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Any volunteers?
I think Pulchan, you must volunteer to be the MC.
Ban Peng, thank you very much. Yes, I've done MC last week on Sunday in Romania's meeting, and I will be MC this Friday in India, Visaka 2's meeting. But unfortunately, I cannot promise for the Singapore one because normally I work. And my work, sometimes I cannot take leave because I have to go and depone in for court cases, everything. So it's difficult for me. Today I've taken a leave just to attend this meeting. So it's not always easy for me. Otherwise, I would have promised. I would have promised you. I would have done it because this is the only way that we have to grow. And this is what Stan said. So I am applying everything that you are telling me. Okay, thank you very much for your...
Right.
Thank you.
I saw Shihan was raising his hand also.
Yeah, I would like to, but I'm not aware of the dates and all of the future meetings.
It's I think 25th of November.
Okay.
Do you think you can do it? It's a Thursday, 25th.
All right, I think I can do it. No worries.
Okay. Coach CK will be your coach.
All right.
Okay.
Can Coach CK, can I just say a word?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Shehan, you're from Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah, I'm from Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Perhaps you can contact Dhananjaya. You know him? He's a world champion. Yeah.
He's kind of like a legend over here. I have
He's a
spoken to
legend
him.
and he's a very nice guy. And perhaps you should talk to him because it took him 9 years to get to the stage and he's bold, right, at the moment. And I am a good friend of his. So he showed me a picture. He said, when I first started the challenge of being a good speaker, I was full of hair, and I look at him, he has an afro hairstyle, and now he's bald, right? So you should contact him. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah, and also he's a very busy person. Once he came to one of our workshops, and he's a very busy person to contact. Yeah, thank you very much for the insight.
Thank you, Dunstan.
Thank you, Dunstan. Okay. Whoever else want to accelerate your learning process, you can contact Coach CK, and then together with me, we can work out something. I think for public speaking and leadership, you have to do it. You cannot just learn from a textbook, right? So I think we have Coach CK, who will also coach us on the other laughter and all these other things as well, in addition to the how to manage a meeting, because they have shown us he did a very wonderful job. So whoever learned from him can also be an excellent MC. Okay, and if you want to be an evaluator, also contact Coach CK. Whatever you want, experience, he has done it before, so he can teach you. Okay, so maybe you can take a group photo on gallery view before we go. Who have not spoken? Samuel, you want to say something? Or Rumana? Do you want to say something before we go? Because I've been very quiet. Oh,
okay, Samuel here.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah. Okay, Samuel, first, you want to address your friends? Use your video, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the invitation. Just came back from office. I'm from Singapore, work in the marine company, managing human resource. So what earlier, I think Sastan said about who he would like to help. I'm the person that I need help. And and I also learned from Bumping that we sell ourselves. For my part is I'm trying to sell my company, especially to those people that we have shortlisted that are potential employees of the company. Yeah, that's what I learned. And I've attended several sessions and I've been enjoying and picking up a lot of tips. And for me, honestly, I try to apply them in my office, but at times I've forgotten due to the heavy schedule at work. But I'll keep them in mind, putting them on notes and apply them whenever I can. Thank you, everyone. I hope I'll one day be brave enough to show my face. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Samuel.
Welcome.
Leonor, is it? How do you pronounce your name?
Leonor
Okay.
Vargas. Okay.
Leonor.
And my English is not very good, but I'm going to try to say something. I am from Colombia and I live right now in Bogota. And my friend Jimba invited me to share this wonderful experience. And I am very happy because I have learned many things. And I would like to join other sections, if this is possible. Yes, this is everything.
Okay, welcome. Do you want to join sessions in English or do you want in Spanish or some other languages?
No, I understand English, so I can speak very fluently, but I can understand. So yeah, English is good.
It's good, yeah. Okay, we'll keep you in touch. What is the time now in Bogota?
Yeah.
What is the time?
Now it's in the morning. It's 8:35.
8
Yeah,
o'clock
it's
in the
morning.
morning. Okay.
Yeah.
I will try to put you in touch with some English speaking club like in Canada or New York or somewhere. The timing may be more suitable for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I saw you have given your WhatsApp phone number in the registration, but I think the number appeared to be wrong. No, I tried to get you, but never mind. I'll drop you an email or I get your number from Yinghua.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Let's go back to gallery view and take a shot so that we can remember today. Oh, before we go, Paul, I want to tell you something. You can make a lot of money with the 2 photographs you have behind you. I know people who make a lot of money teaching people how to lose weight. You cannot, they will not pay you very much, but if you sell them something, those products that they can eat, not only the exercise part, but the health supplement is the one that makes a lot of money. So when you make your next $1 million, remember it 50% must come to me. No, but it's a really good business. Really good business. I couldn't do it because I was never fat like you. Okay, so everybody, let's take a group picture. Thumbs up, come. Okay, are you ready? Yes. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, smile. One more time in case somebody's not ready. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Bright thumbs up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got you. I'll send to the Agora chat group. Thank you very much. And good night, everyone. Good morning to Leona. Okay.
What's the name?
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.